So you can see that we are first getting the query from here. After that, just use this thing where the first thing is the name. That means somewhere, this name I'm talking about, this name, where it's going to look for it. And the second part is the operator that you just saw, that we have multiple operators over here: greater than, all, between, G, greater than, greater or equal, GT, so equals EQ. So you can pass. For me, for now, it's a good thing to pass the contains over here. And once having done this thing, and this is the third operand. So this is an operand, and this is an operator. So the technical name for these two are operand, name and search string, and this thing is called as operator. So two operands and one operator. Since we need multiple filters, so we have made an array of filter, and then we're going to use that. So we also need a list where we want to apply the filter. So list equals. So and how can you get the list object? And you know that since we just passed an ID inside the list, so we can get the list. This is where we want to do that. This dot get view dot by ID. By ID, and the ID is, let me just paste it, ID list item. And once you get the ID of it, you're going to say that list dot get binding for all the items inside it. Get binding for all the items. And var let me just pause this thing. Binding items. I'm just pausing it for now. I'll change this thing into something else. Items and binding. And then say binding items dot filter. And now I'll just pass this array of filters onto it. So over here, this is the object of the filter that we wanted to actually have in it, is name, filter, operator, contains, and search fields. Okay. And then we can have filter, more filters over here. And where do you want to do the filtering? So for that, you need to have the object of the, not in the table I'm doing it on the list items over here. So you need to pass that thing. Once you get the list item object, and you need to get the binding. If you say get binding context, you get binding only for one. You say get bindings, then you get the binding of all the items in it. Once you get the binding of all the items, that means you're getting the binding context for all the items. So you just say get binding. And here, after that, you're using that, binding items to filter using these parameters that you have, array of filter, or rather array of filter, because it's both of the same thing actually. We have just got only one filter right now, and we're just going to pass it over here and here. So let's go and see if our filter is working. So let me refresh the page, and let me just cancel it, and let's see P, and let's search for it. PLIER. Let me just search for plier first. Filter says I don't want to work. Did I do any mistake somewhere? Let me go to the console. Binding items dot filter is not a, yeah, that's good. Filter. Now let's go ahead and check the thing. Oh, in the search P. Let me search containing P. Setting the code. Getting everything. Filtering, no problem. It should filter now. So see, it filtered me too. But if you go on doing L and just hit the thing again, it will get you one of the things that we were looking for, the plier. And then if you type like wax, what did we write over there? So, okay, let me just refresh the thing first. SAW, so. You see miter saw and those saws, the hand saw, those two are there. So if you just hit it, you get the two miter saw and the hand saw over there. Now we're going to apply the filter also on the IDs. So what we can do is that we can come over here and write another filter 2 equals new filter. Remember to pass it F because this is what we have passed over here, filter. So now we want to do the filter on the second thing. And that would be ID, I suppose. In order to do that, we need to check the ID over here. It's the ID. And then it's the filter operator. Rather than using this whole thing, we just filter operator contains, you can just say equals, EQ, something like that, equals. And then it will be our search string. Here, there will be a glitch for now, I suppose. Let me just go to the operator and check. EQ is like this. For this thing, it would be EQ. If we really have a glitch, then we will just try to see it some other day, okay? Let me see if we have it. Right now, it's not going to search anything for us. And let me just add it over here. I'll tell you why, and then we'll try to figure out. So let me just first go ahead and comment this piece of code and also remove this thing from here and delete. So let's see if we apply this thing over there, what happens? Does it search it through ID? Let me just pass one search, no data. Okay, then let me search it through 101. And yes, it searches through 101 exactly. So that means if it sees the exactness in it, it's going to exactly search for it. Otherwise, but if you have used, if you had used contains in it, let me just put contains over there and show it to you and refresh the whole thing. Then searching for 1, it won't search anything because all have got 1 in it. So that's a real concern. So let's say 10, will that serve any purpose? So 10, okay. What is this thing? It's got a 10, 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 got a 10. But this also got a 10. That's a problem. So let me see with 0, 1, what happens. Let's do a search with the 0, 1. There is only one thing that's got a 0, 1 and search for it. So it's searching inside the string also if it matches it. So let's say this is a string and it matches 0, 1 of it. So it will search that also. But don't forget to make the ID as strings, okay? Don't keep it as integer, it won't search then. Okay, come on. Now we will apply both the filters over there. We'll apply both the filters over here. And now we will try to also add the filter 1 to it. and we'll try to see how this works. And to refresh the page, we saw individually both were working, but applying both the filters, if you try to look for, like, let's say 101 and give a search, it will find nothing over there. So that's a problem, okay? In order to deal with this problem, we have to go into this filter operator. Where's the other thing? Not the operator, but filter over here. And here you will see certain options. Those are given to handle these problems, where here are the values for it, like path, test, operator, variable, condition, filters, and these are the two things. You see that? Filters and which we are going to use. I'll show you how. In order to deal with this problem, right now it's not able to find something that's got name and ID. It's looking for both of the things in one shot, and there's nothing of that sort in us. So I'll make a new filter. I'll create a new filter now. Let me just remove the things from here. I'll make a final filter. I'll call that as a main filter. Come on. Main filter, camel casing, although it's not required in the variables, but it has to be like that only. Main filter. And in the main filter, what you're going to do is that you will say new filter, and pass what's two properties inside it in the new filter, because it says that you can also pass these properties inside it. So these are the properties that you can pass as parameters that you can pass. So I'm going to pass two of it. One that is filters. I'm going to pass filters over here. In the filters, I'm passing array of filters, and the and that actually is working on it, will go to false. Okay. Now you just check out over here. Okay, so what I did is that on these two filters, I'm filtering these two things, okay? I'm filtering my filter now. So how can I do that? For that, I need a filter, because the job of the filter is to filter, okay? So first I'm passing the filters, which of the filters I want to filter. So I'm saying these two filters, which I've already passed an array of filter, okay? So from where did I get it? I got it from here, from the parameters that I can pass, SAP UI model filter. These are multiple things that you can pass, value 1, value 2. We just pass values over there, operator over there. Now I'm trying to pass. I don't want the values of those things this time. I want filters and AND. It says that when you make AND as false, it automatically becomes an OR. Either ID or name, it's going to filter. So if you pass ID in your search string over here, it will take the ID, or if you pass name, it will take name, not both in one go. So if you make AND as false, so you need to just pass. Now this main filter is actually holding these two filters and every properties of it. And finally, I'm passing the main filter over here. All right. And now if you come back and check it out, previously it wasn't working for us. Let's say I'm trying plier is searching. So by name it's searching. That's one good thing. 101. Let me just make it 11. It's still searching. C11 by contains, it is searching hammer and those things. Okay. So now both of the filters are working nicely on the basis of one ID, and one of the other thing is the name. And there is another kind of a thing on the filter that we can apply, that is on the search, that is called as a live search. So if you go to the part over here, let's type, see, I just clicked on it. On click, it's giving me some kind of already search stuffs over here. If you type A on Google, you see everything related to this thing, activation code for MS, Aadhaar, Access, Amazon. So if you type B over here, you see these many things. So you see it is doing some kind of a search, right? Chainsaw and all kind of things is doing over here. So what if I do the things over here where my things are? So let me just refresh the page for now. And let me just apply P. So P, the moment I should apply P, it should, so these are the results actually, the way it was. So you come to this point as I was showing you on Google. So these things, think C, you see that C, let me just show it to you. C, chainsaw, cordless drill, these kind of things, right? So when you come over there to this part, so when you say P, so P related stuff should come over here. So right now it's P and M and A and all sorts of things are coming. It's not a live search that it is going ahead with. So if you go to go to the field where your thing that is called as the filter search field is. So this is the important thing. Search field is. So you come over here and you see there is another thing that's called as a life change. So you just go to the life change. Life change, all right? So where's the life change? So in the life change, what you can do is that you can simply apply the life change to it. Let me just copy this piece of code and pass it. And where shall I pass it? I will be passing it inside the search. All right, because it's a search event. So, and I will say on search. On search. Okay. Now you see, interesting part is the search has got on search, and on search is written over here. On search is written. This is the code runs when you hit this on search. All right. But there is another thing that's called as a live change. So, and live change is also pointing to, I'm sorry, pointing to this same piece of code. All right. So that means the same code is going to run when you're going to hit, because it fires on live change. I'll show it to you how it will run. Okay. Important thing is that when you previously, when you type something on it, it did not run on its own, right? In order to make this code run, what you did is that you clicked on this thing, all right? But in the live search, when you do P, so it's registering and firing the event for you. So the moment you type P, it's going to run this code, not like you have to specifically go and hit this thing over here. This is the part that we have to do. So I can just come over here and say that if my event query is something like this, so I'm just going to pass or my O event. So whatever the case, either this or that, O event dot get parameter. Now I'm getting another parameter. You just keep a check. And for live change, the parameter is new value, not just a value. It's a new value. I'm just going to put the new value over here simply. Okay. So either this is there, this query is there. If this is not there, you can even apply this new value query. So whatever the search string is, it will contain. All right. So that means when you hit this search, still the on search will run. If you don't hit it, the PSY whatever type is going to run, because on writing, it's live changing everything. It's on, okay. So let me just save the things over here, save the things, and let's go back into the and refresh. In order to make your code run properly, you need to refresh it. And let's go and let's type P. You see life change. So let's type A. See anything that starts with A and something else. It is registering. I don't know. A N. So you see A N life change. G. So I'm not doing any hitting on it, right? It's firing on the live chain. That means what's happening over here is it's not going with this code. This is called as an or operator. Or operator. Okay, so that means if this is or this, anything is you can take. So I took this one this time. So this is what it's. I'm not taking it, but uh, this is being taken on its own. So let me just go ahead and do PLI. You see, working so nicely. MIT 10100 nothing. There is no such kind of a thing in it, so there's not even giving us and 01. So you see, so it's happening on its own. It's a wonderful thing to work with. So let's save it, this part of the code, and let me just stop it now.